All right, so I want to do a quick little kind of like collective reading for everybody and talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the collective consciousness and move through some of the energies that have been being presented for the collective and for the earth as a whole. Also to introduce possible perspective shifts about some feelings or emotions that you may be experiencing right now as well. But I just wanted to do it with the cards just to, I don't know, have fun with it, honestly, and to post something up. So I'm just going to move these out of the way now. All right. So I'm going to start with 3 cards, and I may do either the past, present, future, or how they connect with each other in order to speak for the collective, but it's just dependent on whatever comes out as I do the cards. So okay, so as a collective, we've made it a long way. We have traveled through, it's almost as if we've been moving through the chakras as a collective together. This shows a long winding path, but the long winding path is covered in fog and a red/orange/yellow misty glow that is signifying the lower chakras. What I'm seeing in this is almost as if we're moving or traveling from the lower chakras into the higher chakras, and that's almost reflected over here too, because this is showing the upper solar plexus moving into the crown. And I know that's like a little bit red, but the first thing that came up for me was more of a purple kind of thing. And then also this has some blues and purples in it as well. And I know I'm just going off of color at the moment, but it's easiest for me to transfer these messages through color because a lot of people understand the chakras, and through the way that I speak, it may help you to understand a little bit easier. So we're traveling through these lower chakras, and we are learning to not feel like an outsider with our own selves. One of the things that always stood out to me about this card in particular is that the lock is unlocked, but the child is so focused on the fact that he is, well, I'm not sure. See, now it's coming through is it maybe that he's looking through the gap, but he's more like, it's possible that it could be taken multiple ways. And this is a very interesting thing too, because it shows the transition from the lower chakras up into the higher chakras. And what that means is that with this, you could either take it you could take it one of 3 ways. So 3 ways that I'm seeing right now. One is the lower chakra way, which is to see the gate, and notice the lock is orange. That shows me also that to unlock your lower chakras, mastering the sacral is going to be the quickest way to unlock your lower chakras. And because as a collective, the sacral chakra is mostly what is blocked in the collective. And this has to do with creativity, joy, sexual desire, pleasure, pain, and feelings of personal power. So the lock is unlocked, but the child doesn't notice because he's too busy looking out the gate. So the positive way of taking this could be that the child that's looking out the gate is seeing the beauty that lies beyond the gate. That gate reminds me of what would be called the gateless gate from Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, I think, or Advaita Vedanta. I think that they also talk about it in that too. But the gateless gate, and what that means is that this child is representative of your ego self and how it's locked itself into a specific state of consciousness or a specific way of looking at the world. And the gate represents the consciousness and connection with divine energy. And then the colors on the background represent the possibilities that lie beyond the mind and body in the spirit. So a way to reinterpret this entire thing is to, instead of seeing it in separate parts, like you see the prison wall and then you see the gate, and this may not even be a prison, you know, it could be just like a beautiful palace as well. Really, it shows that no matter where you are, depending on how you look at things, it could either be a prison or it could be a beautiful sanctuary. So in order to open this gate, this child must take the lock off and then undo the chains that bind and then just walk through. The child may be a little bit afraid to walk through because they can't see beyond the fog that lies. And the fog is representative of the veil between here and unlimited infinite consciousness. So going back here, we're traveling through the lower chakras, unlocking our lower chakras in order to be able to access heaven on earth or higher dimensions, higher chakras. The way to access these higher chakras is to enact friendliness with yourself, first of all, and to start acting more friendly with yourself and to not feel like an outsider in your own body and mind. So there has to be new relationships that are made in order to be able to unlock this. And one of the ways is through sacral energy. So maybe finding a new creative outlet or creative source. Maybe doing sexual transmutation would be powerful. Maybe doing any sort of thing, finding a relationship with another person that is not so much of a give and take, more of a loving relationship, will move you up into the heart more. Basically finding ways to reduce the amount of pleasure and pain that you experience and increase the amount of just steady joy. So it's basically realizing that anytime that you're doing something for pleasure, then there's going to be another aspect of that same coin that has to be represented in some sort of way, which is pain or discomfort or something like that. So pleasure-seeking activities will rebound. So recognize that, and that's another way that you can unlock this as well. So I want to do a really kind of clarifying on this as well. So I'm going to do 3 more really quick. And I'll also go back into the collective a little bit. Okay. Wow. This is beautiful. Okay, so this is showing me to move past the lower chakras, you have to find expression in new and more playful ways with yourself. Notice that these are the same colors that are being represented right here, but this one is much more vibrant and like kind of happy looking, and this one's a little bit more kind of like, it's not confused, but it's more kind of like a big, this one pulls you in, and this one's more like a expressional energy. So basically the point being though is to start to express your energy in new ways in order to find new expressions of these lower energies. Maybe exercise will be good for you as well. This one's called healing. So in here, this is showing that we're healing parts of our aspects of ourselves, and this is showing also the heart chakra as well. So it's like we're healing the heart chakra, and then the hand is over the sacral and solar plexus area and over the face and the eyes. So the heart is opening through connecting the lower chakras with the upper chakras. Healing takes place when love is seen in new aspects in life. Love is the driving force for healing, because healing only implies a different perspective on the self. New ways of healing are coming about on the planet as well as a collective in general, because we are finding out that our minds and projections of our minds are much more powerful than what we had previously thought, and that new methods of healing, which are not new per se, but they'll be remembered, and this is where the past lives comes in as well, is that these new methods of healing are going to start being remembered through regressions of past lives. And the way that the past lives may start to come through, it may not be something like what you expect. So it may not be like a projection where you're like visualizing everything and experiencing it like full on. It may be more of like just a memory of like how to move the body or mind, or like something where you look at something and then all of a sudden you just remember, like, and the remember is almost I mean, it's the right word, but it doesn't have the right connotation. It's more like spontaneously like understanding something, but then understanding afterwards that was connected to you learning that in a past life. So the more that you connect to these past lives, the more that you'll also become friendly with both yourself and everybody around you, because you'll start to become very compassionate for everybody else, because you'll see that you've been there before multiple times. So anybody, literally everybody that you look around, you've been there. So there's nobody that you can judge, because they're all projections or aspects of your own self. You literally, like, I mean, you can judge all you want to, but all you're doing is just judging yourself, and you're just projecting negativity around everywhere. So recognizing also that projection of negativity is going to bring back negativity. So if you want to cut out negativity from your life, then you have to stop projecting it to other people as well. Okay, so I'll do 3 more cards really quick and then go ahead and end this video up. Okay, so very interesting. Notice how we're progressing now. So new vision showing that there's a resurrection of the self that's happening at the moment. I see the geometry in the background, but more of what I see is that you see how the square is merging with the triangle, and then the circle is at the top. This is literally a representation of the folding movement of reality, moving and morphing into different kinds of shapes and shifts, and then recognizing also that perspective is everything. So in order to get a new vision, what happens is that you start seeing things from different perspectives. It's almost as if you realize that, just like if you were to take an infinitely faceted mirror and then put yourself at the very middle of it, and then look around and you see all of the projections of yourself, but then if you were able to project yourself into that actual mirror and see your own self in the middle from that perspective, that is more of the vision or visual that we're going to be having as a collective consciousness, rather than seeing things as separate or individual anymore. And this will actually start to change our experience. And it will literally, notice how these colors are bright in the inside, but on the outside what's being projected is orange and red. So what this is showing me is that we're almost shedding this outside layer in order to be able to live in our bright colors. And notice how this is almost rainbow after that. And it says slowing down as well. So what'll happen is that as we start to sit in these higher and higher states of consciousness, then all of a sudden we won't have to go so quickly and do so many things anymore, because we'll already feel satisfied in the moment. So everything that we start doing will be more because not because of impulse or because of like other people like pressuring or anything like that, or stress. It'll be more along the lines of something that's done through the love of whatever it is that they're trying to do, and in service to other people, rather than trying to continuously service the self by satisfying cravings through, and the cravings even could be like with people like the highest paid people in the world or whatever, they have a craving to continuously produce. That's still self-serving, because all they're doing is satisfying a craving rather than continuously actually trying to serve other people. And what I mean by that is by recognizing that other people are projections of the self, and that by serving other people, you are serving yourself. And that's actually the most powerful way that you can serve yourself. Here, I'll do a couple more really quick. So on a 3D aspect, this is showing that success is coming, but it's showing once you realize that this is more like a waking dream than it is like a real solid thing. And what that means is that the solidity of reality is based off of your perspective. So however solid you think that reality is how solid it actually will be. Notice the celebration and success in this. What happens is that you lose the super hardcore or just like really serious aspect about life, and then through losing that, then you can experience success fully, because instead of getting caught up in the aspect of continuously searching, then you will be able to have everything and actually appreciate everything. And then this is showing that even after getting everything and being able to be on top of the world and having everything, you will still want to go back to ordinariness, because you see the beauty in the simplicity of life, and you understand that it's not about having a whole bunch of stuff. It's more about having an abundant, or it's not about having abundance of physical manifestations. It's about having an abundance of internal manifestations of joy, happiness, just satisfaction, love, and connection. All right, so I think that's good for today, or at least for the tarot portion or whatever. I think I'm gonna make another video later today though, but this was actually very entertaining for me, so I think I'm gonna do another one of these sometime as well. So I know it's different than what you guys have been used to from this channel, but I mean, it's the same thing, but like in a completely different perspective. So I don't know, mine's more of just kind of speaking on a different plane, where I'm trying to speak directly to your soul in a way, but also at the same time I can tell when sometimes people also want to have more 3D messages kind of thrown in as well, so I'll try to do that more as well. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you later.